a girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
Very strange, but this does happen, and I've never seen it this bad. I'm going to ask you this weather is coming. And of course, we got some real weather supposedly coming, cold and snow and all that good stuff that Midwest is known for. Don't try to roll down your windows when they're frozen. Here's why. When the windows are frozen in the felt up there in the doors, they're stuck, and the motor doesn't know that. The motor just keeps working. Here's what happened today. My manager, Ron, came to me. He says, George, you got to see this. A fella had brought his car in. He said, can you fix my window, put it back on track? It fell down in the door. Apparently, it was frozen to the window, to the felt, and he hit the button, and the motor was so strong, it destroyed everything in that door, and the door ripped bolts through the metal. I mean, the only thing that didn't break was the glass. The only thing that's not broke is the glass. We had to stuff it up in there and jam it and put it so it won't fall down, so he at least can drive the car because it's cold out. But he needs a door. Trying to put that window down before you had the heater and going and had the place thawed out, ruined his entire door, plus the window motor, plus the window regulator. He's looking at $1,000, all because he couldn't wait to open the window. Oh my God! Whatever you do, make sure that you got the heater going and everything's nice and warm in that car, and then put that window down. Then it's not frozen anymore. The felt will get warm and it'll thaw, and the window's not stuck up in that frame. Oh, this guy! I felt sorry for him. I felt bad. I really did. He's looking at me. He needs a body shop. I'm not. I looked at Ron, and Ron looked at me and said, "We're gonna hang that door." He said, "I'm not hanging that door." I said, "I'm not gonna hang a door either. That's body man work. I'm no good at it, and I won't step on somebody else's trade anyway. It's not how I operate." I'm just saying that was just a strange thing today. So please, warm the inside of the car up before you try using the windows. So most of the time it would blow the fuse. So a lot of times it would just pop, or the motor would short. This motor was strong, real strong. And by God, it just tore up everything. It bent all the metal, just bent everything. Anyway, we're talking about those airbags. Real quick, I got to tell you, Toyota, if you think Toyota isn't serious about this, I think they're worried about liability because now there's no more Takata airbag. Who are you going to sue? Yeah, they've got some money set aside for lawsuits and stuff, but if one of your cars and you didn't fix it, and they're going to come after Toyota now, or Honda, or whoever, or FCA Chrysler. Toyota is actually planning, now get this, a door-to-door campaign on owners to encourage them to replace those airbags. They're going to start in Orlando, Tampa, Miami, Florida, San Juan, Puerto Rico. If it is a successful campaign, then it's on to Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Texas, and Los Angeles, San Diego, and Riverside, California. Also, they're sending out certified mail and FedEx envelopes to get people to open them up and read to get their airbags fixed. They're desperately trying to get this liability off their backs, this monkey off their backs, this 800-pound gorilla. I'm sure the rest of the companies are going to follow suit. Don't look for FCA Chrysler to do that. They usually wait until somebody gets hurt. That's sad to say. Last week I told you Ford stepped up there. So a lot of people are going to start getting recalls on these Takata airbags that kept saying, I don't think I have any. I never got a notice. You're going to get them now because they're all coming out. I got to go back. I got to give you this update now. This is crazy, but we got to give an update on Stinkygate. Stinkygate. That is the name that I gave to the Volkswagen debacle, where they made that little device that went in the computer and they cheated on their diesels so that they would pass all emissions tests, but they're stinking up the air. They're not really passing. The computer is lying to the test. And who made it? Robert Bosch Company. Some engineers at Robert Bosch made a little macro for the computer, put it in there, and said, hey, we're going to pass these things. They're not clean. They're dirty. They stink up the air. They pollute the air. So only thing we can do is cheat. So that's what they did. They cheat. Well, I told you guys months ago that we were only seeing the tip of the iceberg on the diesel emission cheating debacle. Well, last week, FCA Chrysler announced it will pay over $700 million to settle diesel cheating lawsuits that allege the company used cheater software supplied by Bosch on 104,000 vehicles sold right here in the U.S. of A. Now, this is above and beyond Volkswagen. Volkswagen's already paid zillions. Volkswagen should be broke by now, but they're not. That tells you how much money they make. FCA will pay $311 million in penalties to our Justice Department, approximately $75 million to specific state lawsuits, and $280 million to settle lawsuits to actual vehicle owners. It comes out to about $3,000 a car. I'm telling you. Now, in a related story, here we go, more Stinkygate. This is the story that keeps on giving. More people rolling. People have gone to jail over this. They have put people in Germany in jail. Yes, they have. Well, they did. In a related story, Germany's Robert Bosch Corporation, who, by the way, had a couple of those people that went to jail, will pay $131 million to settle claims from FCA diesel owners here. So that's some more money they're going to get right here in the United States. And resolve all the investigations by 47 states, U.S. states attorneys general for their involvement in Stinkygate. Bosch will fork over $98.7 million to the 47 states, plus D.C. and Guam. They sold a lot of diesels in Guam. $27.5 million to those 104,000 vehicle owners, and a little $5 million stipend to a state's attorneys general guild that brought all this together and just crushed them, just beat them up. Hey, good. You know what? You cheat, you get caught, you pay. They're polluting our air. They're stinking up the place. They couldn't make the diesel run right. It either run right or it polluted. What did you want? So they made it run right and it polluted. If they made it run bad or if they made it clean, it didn't run right. So they had to cheat. They couldn't figure out how to make it run right and not pollute, so they cheated. Well, you get caught, you pay. Volkswagen paid out just millions and millions. You got to remember, they're looking into also Ford, Mercedes, and somebody else, I can't remember, that on these diesels, because they all use the same computer system created by Robert Bosch Corporation. And Robert Bosch has lost 2 employees to jail. Volkswagen's had a couple big executives go to jail. Not big time terms, not, hard labor. Just, they go to jail, and they should. So it's not called UAW, it's called Unifor. In Windsor, Ontario, Unifor President Jerry Diaz has issued a warning to General Motors regarding the Oshawa assembly plant, that's in Ontario, that GM continues to play with. Is it closing? Is it not? It depends on the union, blah, blah, blah. Diaz is quoted as saying, "We will be in Detroit for the auto show, and you can expect a lot of noise about vehicles built in Mexico." He went on to tell GM that he and his members will be coming to a theater near you and swore to get their attention in front of 8,000 reporters. Jerry's not too upset, is he? Let me just tell you. Tesla wanted to buy it, but then they told Elon Musk he couldn't buy it because they were worried about waiting to see what the union does. They're playing the union. They're trying to break the union in Ontario, and I don't think it's going to happen. Jerry Diaz says it's not. In no uncertain terms, he says it's not. He's coming after him. All right, after less than 5 years, Ford is quitting its very unsuccessful ride-sharing program. What did they call it? Chariot. It was called Chariot. It's a service. It never took off. It was in a few cities. They premiered it in Austin, Texas, New York, and a couple others. Originally started to compete with Uber and Lyft. The Chariot was a field of Ford vans, bigger vans with like 10 passengers or 9 passengers, and they would pick up passengers several at a time and take them to their chosen destinations. That doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. It's a ride-sharing thing, but maybe they'd rather just call Uber or Lyft. It's got to be cheaper to share a van with 6 other people and you get dropped off on time. What's the difference? It didn't work, so Ford quit it. Also, Ford has cut thousands of jobs in Europe during their big turnaround reorganization effort to regain profitability for the company worldwide. They want to regain worldwide profitability. And it's a little tough here in the States, and they're moving some things around, and some people are losing their jobs, and some people are gaining new jobs. All this to achieve a 6% operating margin. 6%. Of course, you got to remember when you're dealing with a $50,000 car, 6% is not bad. You know what I'm saying? Ford also has plans to leverage relationships and gave brief reference to a potential allegiance with Volkswagen. Now, there's a business model for you. The Stinky Gate guys, Volkswagen, well, guess what? This week, just yesterday, I heard that was pretty much a done deal. They are going to bed with Volkswagen. Ach tu lieber. Ford's going to bed with Volkswagen. Yeah. All right, check this out. A little trip around the car world here. I thought you'd enjoy this week. What do EVgo, ChargePoint, and Greenlots all have in common? They are all electric vehicle charging firms. Plus, they have partnered with General Motors on the mychevrolet.app to integrate their charging networks. This will give GM, believe this, a convenient network of 31,000 charging stations for its electric vehicle owners. Pretty cool, actually. Yeah, really cool, actually. All right, Cadillac expected to become GM's. You know, we're going to the auto show this year, T-Rex and I, in February. Matter of fact, we're going to have Mark Bialik on here, the front man for the auto show. He's going to be calling in a couple times to tell us what's going on at the Chicago Auto Show. This is the year you're going to see some things you've never seen before. I really believe this is going to be the year. The Chicago Auto Show is just going to be amazing. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to it in a big way. I want to see the high tech. I want to see what's going on. I'm not getting in an autonomous car, I'll tell you right now. Car doesn't have a steering wheel or a brake pedal. No George. Okay? That's just how it's going to be. But we're going to talk about that auto show as it's coming up. It's really cool. Coming up the first part of February. Yours truly and T-Rex will be there on the media day. My dinosaur will be dining on. He likes the German chocolates at Audi and something else, the cafe something at the Alfa Romeo or whatever. Some highfalutin cafe poopy or something they make the dinosaurs like. I don't know what it is. Cadillac is expected to become GM's electric vehicle brand. Boop, Cadillac. When you think GM Electric, you're going to think Cadillac. As they gear up to introduce their first new model to challenge Audi and Tesla in the electric luxury field. There's no names or dates as yet, but Cadillac executives are fired up. And there's more. Last month, 2 Ohio senators asked GM to commit to building all future electric vehicles here in the United States for sale nationally. If they're for sale here, they want them built here. And GM has not said one way or the other what they're going to do about that. In 2017, GM said that its new electric vehicle platform would have 9 units, from compact crossover to large 7-passenger luxury sport vehicle or sport utility, as well as a large commercial van. What is GM doing here? Let's listen a minute. Johann Nischen, who is the Cadillac's president at the time, said Cadillac would play a central role and be at the forefront of the electric vehicle world. Well, he quit the last April, so he's not with them anymore. Okay. This week, GM announced that Cadillac sales rose 17% in China, selling over 200,000 units. I guess they like their luxury cars in China. I don't know where they park them. GM CEO Mary Barra says she plans to sell 1 million electric vehicles in China by 2026. 1 million in China. Just what is GM's plan? I think I know. I really think I know. This whole China thing, that's the new market. China is the new hot market for cars, and especially electric cars. They got so much pollution over there, they can't stand it. But they love their luxury cars. Apparently, they like Buick. That's the only reason General Motors kept Buick, if you didn't know that. They got rid of Oldsmobile and Pontiac and kept Buick because Buick was the most popular car in China. So they kept making them and sending them over to China. Paying way too much duty. Not no more, though.